Beat it up.
And we're back. How's everybody doing? So as we stated earlier, our episode today is about we're going to be discussing a lot of mental health. We are and have been discussing mental health issues, and I brought into mental health professionals, right. Specialist professionals, people who know way more about this shit than I do. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, experts. Yeah, experts. Right. That's the word. So we're gonna bring them on. It's my homie Oshem and my sis Bless.
Hey,
Bless Roxwell.
Hey.
Welcome.
All right. Thank you.
Where's Bless? Are we all right? There she go. There you go.
Hey, there she
Here
is.
I am.
Hey,
How
which one is which and who is who?
Well,
I am blessed.
Okay, blessed.
I'm
Oshem.
Okay,
Oshem. Honor and a pleasure.
Guys, nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Absolutely.
And it's a pleasure having y'all here. Let's just jump right into it. Like, I mean, from where I sit, like we've always felt like getting help, like mental health or like seeing a therapist or something like that has always been frowned upon in our community. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you need mental health, if somebody is seeing a therapist, you know, we look at you like, I mean, like we were looked at like we were crazy, like it was something wrong with us and all of that. And can we speak to, can y'all speak to like how necessary and how ass backwards that mindset is? You know what I mean?
Oh, where do I start? Okay, so
Bless, I'll let you take this one.
This is my bag right here, because one of my missions in life is to demystify and destigmatize mental health and therapy and mental health support. Because here's the reality of the situation. The reality is that we're all walking around living under this racial trauma. That's the first thing, right? And then we have the generational trauma, right, as a result of that. And then we don't even know what any of that looks like. So we're walking around depressed, traumatized, all of these things. And because it's not normalized in our communities, we don't recognize it. So we just medicate, we smoke, we drink, we smash, we do all of those things that help us take our minds off of the pain that we're in, right? When in fact, there are resources out there for the pain that we're in, okay? And the reason we don't access them, I mean, the reasons are endless. The church a lot of times frowns upon anything but prayer, right? So that's one hurdle. And then it's historically, and this is another mission that I have, I am decolonizing psychology because it is historically white. It's historically white and male.
Absolutely.
Right? We're talking Freud. We're talking Western white men that said, this is how your brain works and this is how it should work. Okay? So that doesn't resonate with everyone. Okay? And so there were times where, I mean, the DSM-5 has been updated. That's the book, the sort of clinical book that therapists use to help with diagnoses. And that's been updated because they used to have drapetomania, right? Drapetomania used to be a mental health diagnosis. You know what drapetomania is?
I was about to ask you. Can you explain that?
Drapetomania is the idea that an enslaved person must be out of their mind if they want to not be enslaved.
Wow.
That's drapetomania. And that was in the DSM, not the DSM.
In writing.
Precursors to DSM.
They had that shit in writing.
Right. It was a real diagnosis that they would apply to the enslaved people if they wanted to be free. So, like, psychology is not perfect in any way, shape, or form, okay? But it's helpful and it's supportive because it can teach you about yourself and it can show you where your strengths are, right? So if the whole world is telling you, you know, hey, black man, you ain't shit, guess what? Your therapist will tell you, no, they lying. You are. You're awesome. You know what I mean? So there's that. There's being heard, okay? Because a lot of times we have things we want to talk about, right? But your friends are not being paid to listen to you, okay? A therapist is paid to listen to you, and that's it. Your hour. You get to talk about whatever you want, And it is such a game changer for people, particularly Black people, who we are never heard, right? We can scream at the top of our lungs, please don't kill us in these streets, Miss Police Officer, and they don't hear us, right? So having that space to be heard is so healing and so powerful, all right? So I want people, that's why I decided to become a therapist, because this is something that our people can take advantage of. There are whole cultures, other ethnicities that are taking advantage of this, all right?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, please ask.
Ken, what do you say to a person like me that says, like, depression, that's not really a real thing? You know what I'm saying? I say, hey, people who don't get their way, they depressed. Person gets fired from the job, they're depressed. Everybody's depressed. You know what I mean? Back in the days, how did people deal with depression? Everybody was depressed. They didn't have no doctors to talk to them. They didn't have nobody to say nothing. People dealt with depression. So what do you say to a person that says that to you, like me? Like, that's what I believe.
Okay. Yeah, Starang is he's still from the 60s. You know, I don't want to just bust him out like that, but he's my friend. I love him anyway. Go ahead.
I'm the Rockness Monster, and I'm here to let you know that I'm on Cameo now. Are you familiar with Cameo? It's a website where you can reach out to some of your favorite celebrities and have them send you shout-outs, personalized, birthday wishes, wedding congratulations. You can even have them quit your job for you. And now I'm there. You can use the Cameo app, or you can go on Cameo.com or the Cameo website. Find me there and make your requests. We also have special requests for business. You know, if you want your mixtape dropped on or your album promote, any promotional things, special pricing for that. See us there. Rockness Monster on Cameo. Rock on. Rock on.
That's a valid question, because that's a question that people ask, right?
Right.
And it's a valid barrier to seeking therapy and support, because people are like, well, I don't even think this is real, right? What I can tell you is that depression is a chemical imbalance in your brain. And if you were to go to the doctor and have your brain measure, your chemical balances measured in your brain, you would find out that there was something wrong. So there is a physical, real thing component to depression. That being said, there's new research that is also saying depression is normal. We come from a society where we expect to be happy all the damn time, and that's not realistic, okay? Because shit happens, and you get sad, and you get depressed, and
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's the thing, right? And that's part of the, you don't even know that you just touched on the decolonization part. That's part of decolonizing it and saying, look, you know, in ancient cultures, not even ancient cultures, in other cultures around the world, right? They don't treat depression the way we do. We actually have extremely disproportionate rates in this country and in the Western world compared to the rest of the world for depression, right? So it's a whole new way of kind of looking at it and saying, this might actually just be a natural human process that we jumped into because, you know, Western white male world knows everything, and we know that that's not how you're supposed to be. But in fact, nature makes us the way we are for a reason. You know what I mean?
So I'm right.
Right. So depression is it's not the end of the world. There is obviously there's a chemical imbalance. There's medication for depression, but you don't necessarily even have to be on medication for depression to beat your depression. So
welcome to the 60s, Rock.
You're not too far off. You're not too far.
Welcome to the 60s.
And I think
thank you. Let me put my coat down and take off my shoes for a second while I say this. Right? We and you know, you and I, like me and Starang, have been friends since we was teenagers, right? And you know, we done ran around, we ran the streets, we smoked weed, we drank alcohol together, we did this, that, and the third.
We've been up, we've been down.
We've been up. I'm just talking about like our physicality though. You know what I'm saying? Not our finances and none of that. Like I'm talking about the things we put in our body. You understand what I'm saying? Neither one of us eat pork. You understand what I'm saying? Neither one of us, you know, we neither one of us are too big on red meat. You know what I mean? Whatever. But somehow or another, right? You and I, or we could be brothers. We could be twin brothers, son, and one brother catch cancer and the other one don't. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I'm saying that the bodies like as individuals, whether it's our body, mind, or spirit, we don't all handle shit the same way. We all different. So whereas you may deal with losing a loved one a certain way. And I will say this in front of the world, you one of the strongest niggas I know. Like, you will swallow your blood before you swallow your pride any day of the week, right? So I'm saying,
I don't know if that's a compliment, but thank you.
I'm just it is, and then it ain't. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say
it is, but then it ain't. You know what I'm saying? It is, but then it ain't. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying, it's just real, right? You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, you handle pressure and pain or whatever that comes at you different than maybe I will, or a Ruck would, or a Louisville would, and we all brothers. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, he may need more help in that area than you do. You may need more help in this area than I do. You know what I mean? We sitting here, we came up doing, how come you can't do this as good as I can? How come I'm a better rapper than him? Or whatever the fuck. Like, we all different, bro. So when it comes down to shit, yes, depression is normal. It's something that we all, because we don't live in a fucking fairy tale. Some people are gonna need more help than others, is what I believe.
Yeah. No, and you're absolutely correct.
That's a valid point.
Any diagnosis, and if you go to a therapist, this is important to know. Any diagnosis is on a spectrum. And what I mean when I say that is that we all have anxiety. We all get depressed, right?
Right.
We all have traumatic experiences. The demarcation point for when it's a diagnosable condition is how much it's impairing your life. So if you're depressed, right, but you are still getting up, going to work every day, taking care of your kids, doing what you need to do, and you go out with your mans and them on the weekends, you kind of have fun, overall you might be depressed, but it's not impairing your life. But if you're depressed and you cannot get out of bed, and you're in bed all day, and you only get out of bed to like smoke the L, and then you get back into bed, or you might don't even get out the bed, but literally all you doing is like smoking the L and eating and getting back in. That's impairing your life. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not living, that's existing. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a thing where you have anxiety, everybody has anxiety. I have anxiety right now. Are you kidding me? I'm on a show, right? But is it impairing my life? Is it stopping me from doing the things that I want to do in my life, or seeing the things that I want to see? If my trauma is keeping me in the hood, right? Because it's making me too afraid to go out into the rest of the world that exists for you out there, then it's impairing your life. You know what I mean? So all of these things are on a spectrum. They're all absolutely, not all of them, like schizophrenia isn't normal, but at the same time, schizophrenia, we all sometimes hear that little voice in our head.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
So it's not like there is no quote unquote normal kind of thing. It really is on a spectrum. And we want to see people that are within a range of what's considered normal. And if it's impairing their life, then that's when we want you to get the help that you deserve. And that's the one thing that I want to make sure that everybody knows, if y'all don't take nothing else away from my conversation, my part of this, is that you deserve. You deserve support. You deserve to be supported. You deserve to be heard. You seriously do. And this society has taught us, particularly our generation, Black and brown people in general, that somehow we don't deserve that. And it's twisted because it's like, well, we don't want it. You know what I mean? And if we taste it, we might want it. You know what I'm saying? But we deserve that. We deserve healing. We deserve support. We deserve all of those things. All of them. I don't care what your background is or where you're coming from. You know what I mean?
Blessed. I want to bring up one point that you made about the racism part of this. Is that
you're listening to Monsta Mondayz Podcast. Please join us every Monday from 8 to 10 p.m. West Coast time and 11 to 1 a.m. East Coast time. Every single Monday, Monsta Monday on the Dash app. Also, check out these awesome shows from the rest of our podcasting family. Funny Farm, East New York Radio, All Elements Mix Show, the Star Power Collective, La Cosa Nostra Radio, 5150 Mix Show, Block News Live, Vinyl Coffee Mix Show, and Hidden Gems. Check them all out under the Delicious Vinyl radio station.